Hey there guys, it's Toasty Fresh and I'm back with another video. This time it's a collections update video and it's going to be a little bit of a mixed bag just to mix things up from the last two PlayStation 2 heavy stuff. It's going to be a little bit of a mix. There is a bit of PlayStation 2 in there, so if you're not a fan of PlayStation 2, avert your eyes for a few minutes while I talk about a few of those games, but there's other consoles in there this time anyway, just to break up the monotony a bit hopefully. And anyway, without further ado, the games that I've been collecting. The first one is for the original Xbox and the single original Xbox game, and that is Brothers in Arms Road to Hill 30, and this is a kind of World War II first person shooter historical game, kind of in the same mold as the early Call of Duties, and this was made by Gearbox and produced by Ubisoft. Gearbox behind the amazing Borderlands series. Probably the finest work they've ever done so far. They also did Colonial Marines and they did Duke Nukem Forever. Not so much kudos in that for them. And they did the port of Half-Life 2 as well for the PlayStation 2. So pretty solid first person shooter makers. So this should be pretty decent actually. And then moving on, it's the PlayStation 2 stuff. So if you're fanboys of other consoles, boo! If not, enjoy. Micro Machines, the first one I got, a little bit of a throwback there to some classic gaming for me on the Amiga when I first started out playing Micro Machines. And then when I got my PlayStation 1, I had V3, which was another amazing game that just carried on the kind of tradition of the game. This one, it hasn't meant to, listening to a few accounts, it's not meant to have translated as well to 3D gaming, which is a bit of a shame. But I guess I'll try it out and see. Made by Atari, which is kind of slash Hasbro. I think Hasbro owned the rights to Atari at the time and made a company and they developed this. And you see Atari were published a few games at the time or involved in a few games. Such as Transformers the game, I remember that, and Driver 3 as well. They're on. I remember seeing their logo on the box of that game, which I've got for I think the Xbox. I've got it for. So a bit of a shame, but hopefully it won't be too bad, and I'll have a little look at it. And then moving on, some kind of, well, I don't know what you call this. It's Genji, Dawn of the Samurai. Some people might remember. There's a PlayStation 3 game, there was a follow-on to this called Genji Days of the Blade, which isn't that brilliant. It was one of the kind of launch titles, I think, for the PlayStation 3, and this was made by a company called Game Republic, whose founder of the company was a guy called Akamoto, I think, and he was the guy who was the founding father of Street Fighter. Basically, he's labelled as the creator of Street Fighter 2. So the real making of the franchise basically, and I don't think they went on to make anything really major after this. They made the follow-up on the PlayStation 3, Genji Days of the Blade, and I don't think they really made anything else after that. I think that right. Oh, they made two PlayStation 3 games, I think, Knight's Contract and I forgot what it's called now, something in the Cursed, something in the Forsaken Kingdom, Mugen in the Forsaken Kingdom, I think it was called. They made that game as well, so it'll be interesting to take a look at because it does look very arresting. It's kind of in the same style as I think reading the back it says yeah, well, I didn't even know this, but it's on the back, the guy who did it, Akamoto, who was involved in Onimusha and Devil May Cry and the Resident Evil series as well, working with Capcom. So this is kind of like, it looks like a kind of Onimusha, Devil May Cry type hack and slash game. Very visually arresting. I don't know if you can see the visuals there. It looks really good in this kind of Japanese folklore. Looks like my kind of game. I think that's why I picked it up, and that was £2. And another game, Square Enix involved in this one, and that's Drakengard, and I don't think it's the best action role-playing game ever made. And I forgot who made this now. It was a company called Cavia, I think it was, and I think they were involved in Blinks the Time Sweeper, I think it is. apart from that. Oh no, I think that was a different company. No, they made some Resident Evil games, Dark Side Chronicles I think they're involved in. They're just a small company, and they made this, and I think Square Enix kind of published it. And it's kind of an action role-playing game where it's split into two parts. One part where you can control a dragon and fly around and things like that, and do battles. I don't know if it's aerial battles over a battlefield or something like that. And then you have another part where it's battles on the ground in kind of a role-playing setting. Apparently it doesn't quite work, but I'll have a look at it for myself, and it looked interesting. The box looked interesting anyway, so I got that for £2.50 just to add to my role-playing collections for the PlayStation 2. And I think that's it for the PlayStation 2. But moving on to the stuff that I was really excited to get, and that was two amazing role-playing games for the original for the Xbox 360, and I might as well kind of show them together because they were both by the same company and made by role-playing royalty, and that is Lost Odyssey and Blue Dragon, and they were both developed by Mistwalker, which they both co-developed with different companies. You got Blue Dragon, that was co-developed with Artoon, who they're the guys who made Blinks, the Time Sweeper. That was their other major game apart from this, and it was made by the creators of Final Fantasy, Sagagochi, and it has Nobuo Uematsu, the music composer for all the Final Fantasy music, is involved in this as well. And it just looks like a really charming kind of game. It's got a great little visual style to it, great kind of little character styles, and I remember playing a demo to it and being really interested in it, and then for some reason just never ended up going out and buying it. I don't know why, but I'm really looking forward to that one, especially with the amount of talent that were involved in making this. And then we've also got Lost Odyssey, which is kind of looks more like a modern Final Fantasy game. Again, made by the creator of Final Fantasy again, the same guy, Sagaguchi, and his company Mistwalker made this. But this was made by another company, co-developed this with them, called Feel Good, and they were behind just a few small titles like the Grudge game for the Wii. They made a few games for the Wii and things like that, and they just helped out Mistwalker make this game, which is an amazing game, and looks like maybe kind of where role-playing game maybe should have gone after the Final Fantasy series kind of sort of went downhill. Maybe this is why, because attention from some of the main talent behind the original games has been spent on other games like this and Blue Dragon. But that's those games, and then a real treat in my local cash converters, I picked up two classic wrestling games. I got WrestleMania 2000 for the N64, which cost me $3.99, and I got No Mercy boxed for £9.99. It's a little bit beat up, but it's not too bad because I will be playing this. It's still got the sticker on the back there. And these were amazing games made by amazing people. AKR made arguably some of the greatest wrestling games ever made. Controls were simple to get a hang of and just brilliant. I've got somebody ringing me. Go away. And go away. And yeah, just amazing games. Simple, had a great style, the physics worked right, the moves looked right with the characters and everything, and it was great to finally see them make a wrestling game when they took over from Acclaim on making the WWF games as well, after doing such a good job with the WCW games. And I also have WCW versus NWO Revenge, so I'm really looking forward to playing these. I can't remember No Mercy as much, but I definitely remember playing this one, and it was a great game. I had plenty of fun going around to my friends' houses who owned an N64, and my brother owned an N64 as well, and playing these games. I remember the first one, the World Tour one, and WCW versus NWO World Tour. and I really enjoyed that game, and just for nostalgia reasons I really want to get that one back in the collection. It's one of the ones that I don't have now, so that's one I'll be looking to add pretty soon. But I thought that was a pretty good deal. I think games of the video, for me, my two picks, what I'm most excited to play is probably No Mercy, because I can't remember actually playing that one, and Blue Dragon, because that's looking like maybe one of the role-playing games of choice coming up soon. Well, one of the modern ones anyway. But that's what I've been collecting. I think it was a pretty decent mix of things there. Let me know what you think of the games. If you have any memories of the games, especially the wrestling ones. Some people must have some great memories of those, because I know I did from my childhood. But that's all I got time for, because I've got to rush out now and go and pick up my little girl from school. That's what the phone call will probably be about. But yeah, there we have it. Thanks for watching, guys, and it's game over from me.